Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and hit the button. You know you want to. Go ahead.
Mr. Unlimited. Yeah.
Welcome back to Sports Dump, Lewis County's only sports podcast, sponsored by Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery, Global Septic, and AmeriCool Heating and Cooling. I'm Aaron Van Tile, joined by the full Chronicle sports crew tonight. We've got Dylan Wilhelm, Zach Martin, and Kody Kristen, all of whom made it back from the east side, covering state basketball. Any initial thoughts you guys want to get out of the way before we jump right into what happened at state basketball?
Great tournament in Spokane. I thought it was one of the best I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of them.
Have you?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Ever since I was little, we'd always go over there to watch the teams play.
Yeah.
So I was pretty familiar with it, and it was cool to show both the Dylans it.
I was not never been there before, and it definitely lived up to the hype.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you guys were pulling my leg when Yakima was called the Palm Springs of Washington until I saw the sign. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. That's the only reason people call it that. Because of the sign.
I saw the sign. I'm like, oh, so it's real.
Yeah.
You guys aren't screwing with me.
They did this with a straight face.
And we're talking about it, so to a degree it works, right?
Yeah, to a degree it does work.
Did you see the sign that said home of Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp?
No, I did not see that.
Do they have a sign for
There
that?
is. They made one
They should.
somewhere.
You know
I
what?
saw-
That's their
I
greatest export.
saw a lot more tents under bridges and
Yep, that's
yeah.
part of the Palm Springs of Washington, buddy.
Right.
Yeah, that they don't have a lot of that in the actual Palm Springs.
Well,
I've only ever been to the Palm Springs of Washington, so I wouldn't know any better.
If you go over there for state like baseball and softball in Memorial Day weekend, it does actually feel a little bit more like Palm Springs, and that it's like
pretty
hot
nice
and
in
dry.
Like, the spring.
Yeah. But I mean, you'll still stay at a pool where there's like cigarettes and turds floating in it. You stay at a hotel with cigarettes in the pool.
I've been through there in the summer before when it's like 107 too. It's just phenomenal. Yeah.
All right. So Zach, what did you think of your first trip to the Palm Springs of Washington?
it was fun. Had a lot of good had some good eats in Yakima. Miners, Miners, which is a drive-in restaurant, had a burger about the size of my head.
Miners is pretty famous.
That was delicious.
It's overrated, but it's okay.
The tots were fantastic. And then I had my last day there, I had a Hawaiian pizza from Mr. Pizza.
All right.
It was pretty good.
Cool.
What's Mr. Pizza's first name?
Mr.
Papa. All right, so we will start.
Is it perhaps Mr.
Mr. Unlimited.
I
Yeah.
don't know why I let you put that on there. We'll get to the 1A and 2As in a moment, but we'll start in Spokane, where Napavine won its first 2B state championship ever. I think I cleared them. Now we don't have any other buttons.
Oh, no. I
Gonna
was
have to go
waiting
back and-
for it.
I pressed the button, but it didn't work.
I accidentally cleared them all when we put Mr. Unlimited. See what it cost us.
It's worth it.
Russell Wilson strikes again.
Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah, none of these other.
I
Oh,
declare
we still got that one on there.
bankruptcy!
There we go. Delayed, but we got it.
You just weren't pushing the
Yeah,
button. Anyway,
go Tigers.
A top-seeded Napavine dominated Tanask at 69-38. Then they squeaked by Brewster in the semifinals 48-46. And then in a long-awaited rematch with Adna in the semifinals, they dominated and won 57-33. And then Hayden Count hit a go-ahead three with 16.6 seconds left to give the Tigers a 41-40 win over Okanagan. Count had 25 in the semifinals against Adna. Dakota Hamilton led the Tigers with 15 in the title game. Dylan and Kody were there. Take it away, fellas.
Before we get to the title game, that Napavine Adna,
real
quick, that Napavine Adna result was probably single game wise the most surprising result of the week, just because they absolutely floored them. And then just an incredible title game, back and forth, low scoring, and then Hayden Count, ice in her veins, just. It wasn't a step back, but kind of a pump fake, lean to the right, three.
Yeah, I talked about this on the news dump before this. It was kind of one of those shots where, you're down 2 with the championship on the line and you shoot a 3. Everyone's kind of like, whoa, what are you doing? And the whole building was just kind of like, and then she drained it and they're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
One of those, no, yes, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a great shot. I didn't get a good picture of it and they were just crapping on me on the news stuff for that.
Your photos were fine. All your guys' coverage was good. We're not just going to sit around here patting each other on the back.
Yeah.
But how was Shoots after the win?
He had not processed it, understandably, but the dude just he had he didn't have no idea what had happened, but he was very short, just very giddy,
little dazed, a little bit.
Yeah,
probably.
little still what just happened. I think that's how we all kind of felt. Just with the way that game ended. But
yeah, I got a great photo of him after they handed him the golden ball. He threw that thing up like it was the Lombardi, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I got maybe the hardest photo of the tournament of him holding it like a baby and waving to the Napavine crowd. It was sweet.
Well, I mean, he's been in that game before, so this is a pretty big deal for him. Yeah, he was the coach when they were
08-09?
08-09. Yeah, I
somewhere
think I was over there for both of those. So I was happy that he finally got one.
And he got to I did see at the very end during the celebration, him and Avery Shoots kind of shared a long hug, and obviously she tore ACL earlier in the season, but for her to still be a part of that meant a lot to him too.
Yeah.
What is their relation? Is it
his daughter, isn't it?
Daughter, is it?
I hope so. I believe so.
I
think, right? Yeah.
I thought so, but I didn't want to. Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
All right. Anything else stand out from Napavine's run there? I after the Adna girls game against Tudor Lake, Freeman had 27 in the first half.
Yes.
I was like, oh, geez, no stopping them.
She was on pace to set a tournament record, but she got 4 points in the third.
Yeah, and then the wheels fell off against Napavine.
Yeah,
and it sucks to see that for Adna, but yeah, Napavine, hell of a run.
I will say, I think the most impressive part is them mentally rebounding from losing in the opening round to Mapton in the way that they did, and how just how horrible they played that game in terms of handling the ball and not hitting their free throws and not shooting it well. For them to mentally go on this run of win 4 straight when your backs are against the wall, and in most of those games, and to trounce their opponent, I think that's the most impressive part of Napavine's run.
Yeah, I agree. Watching at the end of the Mabton game, I would not have believed that to be a state champion. They didn't look good at all. And then they got into that first day when they were in the round of 12, and they should not have been there, and they played like a team that should not have been there. I forgot who they played, but they
crushed Tenacity.
Destroyed them, yeah.
And in the notes, it was the long-awaited rematch with Adna. That's something Shane kind of touched on after that game, too, because they only played each other once in the regular season. Adna won 54-51, and they avoided each other in the district tournament, and he was kind of just saying, I didn't have to get them ready for this one. These girls were fired up. They knew they were the better team, and they went out and proved it. And
that they did.
Then they did it again the next day against Okanagan.
Is it too soon to look ahead to the future of Napavine? What do they got? How many seniors do they have?
They have 4, I believe, if I remember correctly. O'Neill is out. Hamilton is out. Grace Gall. And then Avery Shoots.
Okay. So they'll still be fine next year.
Calp being back will be very important. But losing O'Neill and Hamilton that's going to be difficult to replace, especially on the boards. Yeah. Because those two were invaluable rebounding.
That is an upside of Adna's loss in the semis, is they have every starter returning.
Yeah. We got a few of those teams this year.
Is it? I thought Freeman was a senior. Is she not a senior?
Nope. Junior.
All right.
They're all juniors except Marguerite Humphrey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out Marguerite.
One more thing on Napavine real quick. Dakota Hamilton. That's the best she's looked all season, in my opinion.
Wasn't she out early, or was she out last
year?
year?
She was out last year. She tore ACL.
That's what it was.
Yeah, she's had with that giant leg brace on all season.
Yeah.
So.
But she scored 15 in the title game, and she was kind of, in the first half, she was kind of the only Tiger that didn't look kind of wound up and nervous to be there.
Oh, she was shooting everything.
I talked to her after, and she goes, I'm not afraid to shoot the ball, even if I miss. And Shane said the same thing. He's like, sometimes we need that, because sometimes you just got to have someone to say, you know what? I'm putting it up, and it ain't always going in. But
we talked about this after the game. There was a couple times, I'm going to be honest, where she shot the ball, and I was just like, what kind of shot are you taking?
It's almost Jokic-like, where
she just hit it. Yeah, she just drained it every time.
It worked.
Yeah, she showed me. She's a state champion, and I'm not. So.
Very, very true. All right, over on the boys' side, Mossy made a Cinderella run to the state championship game. They overcame a 15-point deficit and beat the number 1 and number 4 seeds along the way, but they couldn't hold on to a fourth quarter lead against Welpinit. In the finals, Zach Munoz led the way with 20 points and 5.5 rebounds a game. He also played a big role in the huddle in the comeback win. Dylan and Kody were there. What were your impressions of Mossy Rock, fellas?
I didn't watch them all season, so I didn't really know what to expect, but I was really impressed with them. They seemed underseeded. They were playing great. I know they
were the 7th seed, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I know in the first round they didn't have, who was it?
Easton Kolb, I believe.
Yeah, they didn't have Kolb in the first round. In the first round, they barely squeaked by.
They had
the team they played.
Yeah, they were down 15 in the second half to number 15
win.
Summit Classical Christian.
And I
Definitely
think
a real thing.
Yeah,
I think Kolb made all the difference because then their next game they played the 1 seed of the tournament and just kicked their ass.
Yeah.
It was just a one-sided game.
How was Tom polite to you guys?
Yes. Tom was awesome. I love Tom Kelly, man.
It is very hard not to like Tom Kelly.
He's a good dude.
The only
He's
time I
fun.
talked to Tom was I went like up the stairs to like not the second level, but the 100 level, like behind the hoop, to try and take some photos up there. And there was a seat open next to him. I was like, "Can I sit to him or can I sit by you?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "Who are you taking photos for?" I'm like, "The Chronicle." And he just like didn't really say anything. I was like, "The Centralia Chronicle." He's like, "Oh, cool."
He Ruben King did the story about the championship game, and the last quote that I think Tom said to him, and what he ended the story on, talking about the seniors, he's like, I told the seniors one time you can call me and I'll bail you out for a nonviolent crime. They have a friend for life. And
that sounds about like Tom.
Was it Coach Judd from WF West? I think he's one of the assistants for the boys team. He tweeted out at
Chris
one
Judd,
point.
yeah.
He goes, "What is Tom Kelly like? Got in the water over there?" Or something along those lines. Like, how does he do it? And that was kind of the general vibe. That's the best they've looked all season, and that fourth quarter was tough. They gave up 16 unanswered to Welpin in the final 7 or 8.
It had to be the hardest setting of all time to play a 1B basketball game in for Mossy Rock too. Yeah. With the entire town of Wilpin.
Everybody was there.
Everyone on their feet screaming. Like that crowd is always insane. And I don't think Wilpin's too far from Spokane. I think it's about an hour.
And
they brought the bigger crowd than anyone in the whole tournament.
They were fired up.
Oh man! Every time the whistle blew, they were screaming, whether the call was for them or not.
And then great. Munoz too. When they were down 15, not sure if it was exactly when they were down 15, but somewhere in that stretch early in the second half, where the deficit got to double digits against Summit Classical Christian, he was the one kind of leading the huddles.
Mm-hmm.
He was on a knee in front of the team, and we talked with him after, and he was literally like, we're not going out like this. Like, I just decided that to, be the guy to speak up, and it worked. And also a quick shout out to Lenz Bigby, who didn't play much this year, missed a lot of time with injury. 17 points in that comeback win.
Yeah,
in his first game back in about 6 weeks. So
shout out Lenz. I went to Adna with him. I had no idea he moved to Mossy Rock until I saw him getting buckets in the state tournament. It was crazy.
And the Bigry kid had 20 in the semifinals too.
Yeah.
So they were fairly balanced, big performances all the way through.
Had a double up one of the games, I believe.
Yeah.
They all stepped up when they needed to.
Yeah, that was a cool story. I wish they would have pulled it out, but I'm glad you guys had fun with Tom over there.
I was rooting for Mossy Rock probably more than anyone else. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. The Adna boys were the next highest placer among local teams. They went 3-1 and finished 4th. They blew by St. George's 70-47 on, what was that, Thursday?
First day, yep.
First day.
St. George's was the first day.
That was an upset, I'm pretty sure.
But was Adna playing on?
They were playing.
The
in the
boys
round
were
of 12.
playing Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, St. George's was probably distracted, looking forward to Saturday when their alum was hosting SNL. Pirates, no? You don't think they were?
Sorry. I got the wrong alum. So
What?
No, okay. This is gonna go way off topic, but I know the last time I saw SNL had Shane Gillis was hosting, so I was like, no way. Shane Gillis went to St. George's. I remember you told me it's Sydney Sweeney, I know, but I was like, no way.
This says a lot about you, Kody.
Do you know who that is?
Cheese, dude.
Shane Gillis?
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, do you know who Sydney Sweeney is?
I do.
Okay, all right. Never mind. Anyway, the Pirates then fell short against top-seeded Columbia Burbank 74-68. They beat Tudor Lake and Northwest Christian Colbert to finish 4th. How is the Northwest Christian crowd? Because they are right there in Spokane too, and they're usually loud and just
pretty good.
aggravating.
Decent student section.
Solid. didn't stand out as much as like Welpenen or some of the other schools.
Welpenen, but
back when they were winning state titles every other year, they were extremely loud.
I think we looked at the program.
Didn't they win 5 or 6?
There was a stretch where they won, like 5 or 6.
Yeah, they were good.
It's crazy.
Braden Salmi averaged over 21 points a game, and Trevin Salmi hit 7 threes in the 4th, 6th place game. Pretty high finish for Adna. When was the last time they finished that well?
2018, they got 3rd.
Okay. So it hasn't been that long. All right.
Yeah, cool story. It was just cool to see the Salmis go off together in that final game, too, especially Trevin. He kind of like Dakota Hamilton. He's certainly not afraid to shoot the rock, especially when he's open. And he had 7 of 11 in that game.
It's pretty good. Didn't he have like 6 in the first half?
I think he had 5. Yeah. He was
because the tournament record was 10.
We were looking.
Come on, Trevor.
Yeah, we were checking.
He stopped shooting. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was cool to see him get that far and finish as high as they did, especially after it took overtime for them to even make the tournament in their not crossover, what's it called? Regional game. Yeah. So
right.
That was cool to see.
This podcast is brought to you by Global Septic. How are the porta potties over there in Spokane? Or did you guys get to poop indoors?
We got to poop indoors.
Wow.
Yep.
What a win for you guys. Global Septic provides septic service and portable sanitation for Thurston, Lewis, Mason, Cowlitz, and Grays Harbor counties. Septic pumping, inspection, and riser installation. Commercial septic pumping, grease trap services, porta potty rentals, and portable sink rentals. Visit globalseptic.com. That's GOEBEL septic.com, or give them a call at 360-736-2167. Also, over in Spokane, the Napavine boys made the state semifinals, but then they lost 2 games to Colfax and Lake Roosevelt and finished 5th. Carson Denault averaged 18 points and 10.3 rebounds a game for Napavine, and James Gross averaged 21.7 points a game. What did you guys think? Disappointing finish for Napavine?
I wouldn't say it's a disappointing to get 5th in state.
It's not. Yeah, getting a trophy at state is not disappointing.
Were they disappointed? Absolutely.
Their expectations, I think, were probably
I think
a
they
little
came
higher.
in there wanting to win a championship and expecting almost to win a championship, and that was their goal. And I think they were definitely disappointed at the end of the tournament, but nonetheless, I think they had a great season.
Yeah, they did have an excellent season. They were undefeated until the last Friday of the
games
year.
They lost for the last 2 of the year. Yeah. And
yeah.
Just so happens that in the Washington State tournament, that's how you end up with 5th. So.
Yeah, and also like if your goal is from day one of the season to win a state title and you lose in the semifinals, like it's really tough to come back and play it whatever time it was the next day.
Yeah,
they were on the wrong end of 2 offensive explosions too. Lake Roosevelt, Chase Marchand.
How much did Lake Roosevelt
8 for 11? He
put
up 35
something.
points. They scored 80 something. Yeah.
Wow.
And then the day before, they were actually within 5 against Colfax early in the 4th, and Colfax ended the game on a 26-6 run. Yeah. So those scores a little more lopsided than at least the Colfax game. That final score was more lopsided than the actual game played out. But and then Lake Roosevelt just caught fire.
Both those teams that lost to were really good.
Yeah.
Having only watched West Side basketball, I expected Napavine to be, like the standard when it came to the tournament. But there were 4 really solid teams in that tournament.
All right. Adna girls also took 5th. They beat Tudor Lake in the quarterfinals, as we mentioned, before losing to Napavine and Warden. Carson Freeman, up and down tournament, scored 31 against Tudor and Warden, but she scored just 3 of the loss to Napavine. But Adna, promising next year? Going to be okay?
They'll be back for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And they should be better. They really just seemed to press early in that Napavine game for whatever reason. They 0 for their first 12 in the field. They just not going to win a lot of games. Yeah.
All right. And then Rainier girls lost to Tudor Lake 48-46, which sent Dylan Rubenking into something of a spiral, I understand.
I don't know.
He was a little sad.
Does Schwartz think he went to Rainier? I don't know.
No, he's just covered them all the time.
He's the beat writer for Rainier girls basketball, and that's true. And he was a little bummed out, and they were a little bummed out, but they don't think they have a lot of seniors. I think they're going to be back too.
Then the Montserrat girls lost to Wilbercrest and Keller 57-39. That was a Wednesday game too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. And props to Mossy for getting back to Spokane after losing so much from last year's runner-up team.
They did.
What was it? 3 starters and a 4th to a knee injury, I think. So for them to even get back, that's a young team too. props to Autumn Moorcraft and that crew. I think they overachieved this year.
All right. This podcast brought to you by Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery. Dylan and Kody, tell me about the bed situation in Spokane. Sounds like maybe you could have used an extra bed in your hotel room.
We definitely could have.
Went to Elam's, threw it on the plane.
Yeah.
Get over to Spokane.
You should have. You could have gotten a new Serta iComfort Eco mattress, certified.
Great affordable price too, I bet.
It's a damn affordable price.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it'd be an issue for you two kings.
No.
But certified
We're
comfort.
journalists, man.
And
exactly.
certified comfort, easier on the earth. You can shop now online at elamshf.com.
Easier on the earth too? Hell yeah.
Well, the easiest on the earth is, sleeping two dudes to a bed. But
what?
That wall of pillows is nice.
No, that's just. I think the easiest to the earth is just sleeping in the grass under the stars.
One day we'll all be sleeping in
Cowboy.
the grass.
Yeah. Oh wow,
Next
that
year,
got.
Wow.
Whoa, that's not where I set that up for.
All right.
Whoa.
why don't you stop by the showroom at Elam's instead of whatever
When me and Dylan were
existential nightmare Dylan's living in?
wait. Have we done the global septic ad yet?
Yeah,
That was the first one we did.
Okay, well, I should have said this for the global septic ad. I just thought about this, but if we would have had global septic at the Spokane airport, our plane wouldn't have been delayed until the next day. Because
is that what happened?
Shall we go into why you guys did
let
not?
me finish
That's
this
what
ad read.
I tried to set it up with global
ad
septic because I didn't know if we did the ad or not.
I'm gonna mute you.
Oh, don't you dare!
Elam's Home Furnishings and God damn it. Visit the showroom at 1530 South Gold Street in Centralia to learn more. All right, Kody, tell us a story about how you got a plane.
Oh, the people going to hear me or are you going to mute me again?
No, you're back on.
There was a leakage in the laboratory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you'd think if a airline's toilet was leaking and they had to cancel the flight, they would just tell people there's mechanical issues, right? Make them look a little more professional. But Alaska Airlines gets on the intercom and they're like, our toilet is leaking, so we have to get maintenance out here. And then maintenance can't fix it, so we have to cancel the flight.
They literally said the more we try to fix it, the worse it's gotten. And now it might get canceled. And then 10 minutes later, we all get a notification and an email saying our flight's
And the poor girl that had to announce it had to be like her third day on the job. That's definitely where they said.
Cracking.
The Spokane airport is definitely the minor leagues for airport people, and you can tell she did not want to make that announcement. But yeah, so me and Dylan were supposed to fly out at 11:30,
like noon something.
Yeah, like noon on Sunday. Get home, I'll be ready to go for Monday, and then our flight got delayed till 5 a.m. the next day. So we spent another night in Spokane, and we got our own room and our own beds paid for by Alaska Airlines. Not sponsored.
That was nice of them. They got all 3 rooms?
Ruben King made
it over because he was just one, but we had the same
itinerary.
Really?
Yeah. So
they just pushed us.
So they put you guys up in a hotel.
Chris Johnson from East County Journal also made it back.
Yeah.
We were hanging out with him at the airport.
And my aunt works at Alaska Airlines. I got some words for her at Easter, man.
You're not going to see your aunt. I guess Easter's coming
at least the.
It's in March
door.
this year, isn't it?
I'm just happy the door didn't fly off the plane. So.
All right. Well,
the bathroom door might have. We never made it onto the plane.
So it had to be a catastrophic event that happened in that bathroom.
When you finally got on the plane for your 1-hour flight back to,
it's 35 minutes.
It was
35 minutes.
Yeah. You were just like, we can hold it.
Yeah,
that's what Chris Johnson was joking about.
He's
like, just lock it and. It's like an elementary school field trip. Everybody go before we get on the plane.
Exactly.
Yeah, they could have swung that.
It
must have messed with the integrity of the aircraft.
I think it was you, Dylan, that said someone must have took a dump that affected the structural integrity of the aircraft. It's so bad they had to cancel the flight.
Oh boy. All right.
We're off the rails.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I should have. That would have been a great plug for the Global Septic ad, but I spaced. I'm sorry.
Back to Yakima.
Elam's Home Furnishing. You guys should go.
In Yakima, WF West went 1-2 and fell 1 game short of placing. They beat West Valley Spokane 61-40 in the round of 12 on Wednesday. But then they lost to Prosser 57-41 in the quarterfinals and lost to White River 57-53 on Friday.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Julia Dalen did set a tournament record with 25 rebounds in the win over West Valley. She had 33 points and 6 blocks. The old tournament record was 20 rebounds.
Damn. Yep.
And then she went for 20-12 and lost to Prosser, and 17-15 and lost to White River. That's got to be a tournament-wide rebounding record, I would imagine.
I would think. I'd have to look back, but yeah, I would think that might be the most for a tournament in 2A, depending on what everyone else did.
Yeah.
Well, did they play they only played 3 days though, right?
Yeah, they only played 3 games.
If they had played 4, I would say she probably got it locked up. But
yeah.
Zach, what did you think of the Bearcats in Yakima?
They were very disappointed after losing after they lost to White River. Julia was the most emotional out of all of them. You could tell that at least for her, and I know for the rest of them too, they were all disappointed, but it hit different for Julia just because of the tournament she had and just how close they were to getting to a placement game. Because they had a 6-point lead in the fourth quarter. They were well on their way to winning that game, and then kind of their bugaboo during state was not being able to come up with a shot. Like they would get the stop. They had no problems getting stops when they needed to. They couldn't hit a shot when they needed to. And that was kind of their Achilles heel last week. But Julia was amazing in all 3 games. I thought Dylan Beck was their second best player, the freshman guard. She very impressive in all 3 games. She's going to be a real nice player for them for the next handful of years. Their point guard Amanda Bennett didn't shoot at all in the first 2 games, and then in the last game, 6 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3. So naturally, you don't shoot at all, and then you're perfect from the field. A disappointing tournament, but they should be right back. They just lose 2 seniors, Carly Deskins, Lena Fragner. Julie will be back, Amanda will be back, the 3 freshmen, Dylan, Joy, and Caitlin that played a lot of minutes, they'll be back. So yeah, I think WF West they'll be able to make it back to Yakima and go for a trophy next year.
Stay for 1 extra day in the Palm Springs of Washington.
Yeah, we'll see.
I went ahead and found the packet. Since 1998, the individual tournament record for rebounds is 60. And Dylan had 52. So if she played a 4th game.
If she played a 4th game, she would have had
since 2011.
Is that for just girls or is it for everyone?
2A girls.
Okay. 2A girls, yeah. Because the individual record was the 20, and that was by 5 different people. And the latest one was like in 2017. So Julia cleared that. Yeah. Shout out Aaron for always mentioning, look at the tournament records because you never know when one will go down.
Didn't we get a tournament record we found in Spokane? I forget what it was.
We almost got the lowest scoring game.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't one of our games, but one of the games.
Almost.
One of the 1B girls games, it was about a minute left in the third. It was 19-9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they both picked it up in the 4th enough to, I think it was
hold the record for the lowest
Sunnyside Christian and Mount Vernon Christian, I believe, if I remember correctly. But
yeah. So yeah, Julie had a great tournament. She'll be an all-stater again. I think this is going to be a big summer for her. I could see her having a very big summer. She's already got a handful of D1 offers if I was told correctly. Yep. So I have no doubt she's going to get a lot more D1 offers this summer. I think she's going to have a breakout summer.
All right. And then
Julia Dallin.
Mr. Unlimited.
Mrs. Unlimited.
Miss.
Excuse me.
Miss Unlimited.
The Tenino boys lost a heartbreaker in the round of 12. The Beavers overcame a 13-point halftime deficit to tie the game, but had a turnover in the final seconds, which led to a game-winning bucket for Kings, which won 45-43. Jack Burkhardt and Noah Scow scored 14 apiece. Burkhardt had 11 rebounds. All 5 starters will be back next year.
That was nice. That was tough. That was tough to watch. And the play that they had, the final play, it was 15 seconds left in the 4th, 14 on the shot clock. So they were going to take the last shot of the game. They gave the ball to Noah, and what Noah told me afterwards is he was waiting for a Burkhardt screen. There were various options in talking with head coach Ryan Robertson, various options in that play that they were looking to. But as Noah was waiting for Burkhardt's screen, King's defender just picked his pocket. And Noah said he tried to foul him, and he just couldn't get to him. And the game-winning layup, and then Snyder. I'm blanking on his first name. Preston. I think it's Preston. Preston Snyder.
Yeah, that sounds right.
He had a good look from half court. I mean, as good of a look from half court as you can have, and just too strong. But yeah, that was tough to watch. They were playing. Burkhardt got into foul trouble in the first half. He had 3 fouls in the first half, and that took Tenino out of their rhythm. And Kings kind of took advantage of it in the second quarter, outscoring them 15-5. But man, that third quarter was impressive to watch. They were comfortable. They were getting stops and running their offense. Burkhardt and Shao were doing work, and it was that ending was fun, but you could tell it was tough for them.
Yeah.
But all 5 starters bad, all juniors, so they're gonna try and hopefully get back to state next year, and I think they'll probably be one of the better boys teams in the area. If I were to peg it way too early, best teams in the area, I think Tenino's going to be right up there.
Yeah, I think so. This podcast brought to you by AmeriCool Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is their business. They provide full-service HVAC installation, services, and repair with a 100% satisfaction guarantee on everything they do.
Just like us.
There it is. Visit west.americoolonline.com, or if you are either too hot or too cold late at night, they have a 24/7 emergency service line. You can call 360-948-2832 and request service, get an estimate. Maybe you just want to call them and have them come hang out with you. I don't know.
I don't know of anyone that's too hot right around now, but.
Well, you might have got, too lonely being alone in a hotel room after your flight got canceled. Maybe you could have called them, talked to them a little bit.
Yeah, I should have.
Yeah. Anyway, visit west.americoolonline.com to learn more about their heating and cooling services. Other notables from Yakima and Spokane. Ellensburg girls' 75-game winning streak came to an end in the 2A title game. They lost to Linden 43-40. Linden also won the boys, didn't they?
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know. Is Zilla 1A?
Yeah,
that's 1A.
Zilla's 1A.
They won the 1A.
I want to say Linden may have won 2A, but I can't remember.
Linden survived semifinal, 1 win from, let's see. What the hell is this? Why can we not find out? Yeah, they won both.
Oh, they did. Like that.
Look at that. God, sports writers, huh?
Not in our coverage area.
Way out of coverage area, man.
Well, anyway, good for Linden, winning 2 more state championships. They always win everything. Nia Bay won its 2nd straight 1B girls title. They avenged a 2022 title game loss to Mount Vernon Christian with a 39-28 win over the Hurricanes.
And then Nia Bay. If you're driving to Spokane from Nia Bay, it better be for a state championship.
Yeah, that's a long drive.
So let's it
was 8 or 9, yeah.
It's got to be more than that. I'll Google map it right now. Continue.
All right. And Zilla, which beat Tenino in the regional round, ran the table and won the 1A boys championship. Good for Zilla. Zilla's always been good. Spring sports start this weekend. Maybe.
Weather pending.
Yeah, weather pending. But
Right.
there will be some soccer on Saturday regardless, I'd imagine. But baseball and softball are also scheduled to get going. Any early predictions on who's going to be good at baseball or softball?
The Adna boys baseball team. I think it's going to have a good year.
Didn't you play baseball?
I might have.
The Adna girls will also
Adna
probably
girls
have
will have a great year. Yes.
Tumwater baseball, WFS baseball.
Mossy Rock softball coming. They finished 3rd last year in 1B.
Yeah.
I think Napavine baseball should be pretty good this year again.
But the best spring sport is track. That will get started in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
we're back.
Spring sports are coming up. How did you Google the distance?
Yeah, it's about 9 hours drive from Nia Bay to Spokane.
Oh my God.
Imagine like you're Nia Bay and you're playing in the Wednesday game and you get over there and lose. And
Yeah, I know.
At 9 a.m. Yeah.
Oh my God. That sounds like a nightmare.
yeah. Nia Bay's good. Good for them. All right. Anything else you guys want to? Any final thoughts on your first trips to state basketball?
Not my first.
It was fun.
First covering it.
Good time.
It was
Shout out the Spokane Red Robin for letting us in 30 minutes before close.
That's true. We called him to make sure.
That's you called the Red Robin.
That's how much this guy Dylan wanted. Some Red
I didn't
Robin.
want to be that guy. I didn't want to walk in 20 minutes before close.
Called him like, hey guys, I know the kitchen.
I want to make sure the kitchen wasn't closed.
I think you became that guy when you called Red Robin to make sure they would let you in to eat. You know, there's other restaurants in Spokane.
We had him. Our options were limited.
Just drop Kody at Taco Bell and go to like a bar.
I told him that. Like, you can leave me. You guys can go to a bar or something. No, actually, the night I stayed in the hotel room to do homework and they left, I was like, yeah, you guys can go to a bar or something. I gotta stay here and get my homework done. They went to Red Robin. So
God.
Yeah. So
did the hotel have a bar?
It did.
Yeah, it was a little pricey.
We're gonna cut it out there. You guys have a lot to learn about covering games and company credit cards. Thanks to our sponsors, AmeriCool Heating and Cooling, Global Septic, and Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery. We'll talk to you once baseball season is happening.